In the previous video, we set up a registration form to allow learners to self-register onto your platform and get access to these organizations and groups. And you can see that we're starting to fill up this home tech organization here. So we've got 5 users who have self-registered onto the organization. In this video, we're going to show you a different enrollment method, and that is for you as an admin to import users from a spreadsheet. So what you might have is an organization that you work with sends you a list of users, and you might want to import them into the system in a bulk rather than having to create individual accounts for all of them. And the Organization Toolkit plugin lets you do this. So we're on the Import Users page of Organization Toolkit, and there's 3 steps to this. Firstly, we download the import template and edit it. Then we upload it, and then we click this Import Users, and it'll generate accounts for any users that are on that spreadsheet. So let's firstly take a look at the import template, and we'll just open this. We'll download it from this link here and then open it in our favorite editor. So this could be Excel, Google Sheets, or something that you use for managing your spreadsheets. And we can see that we have the headings: first name, last name, username, email, password, and group, and a few other ones listed here. So we've got the obvious ones here: first name, John Smith. They have a username and email, and these can be the same. A lot of sites tend to use the email address as a username because they're a unique field. You can set a password for this user who would be created. And what we can do is set a group ID or an organization ID and add a few different fields like their telephone number, address, and other bits of information that you might want to add about these users. So how do we find the group ID? So every LearnDash group has an ID. So if we switch back to LearnDash here and go to LearnDash LMS and then groups, we'll find that we have this ID column. And what we want to do is find the number that corresponds to the group that we want to add this user to. And I want it to be added to this Home Tech January 2022 group. So I can see that the ID for this is 24800. And what I'm going to do is just copy that and then paste that into the group here. And likewise, if you recall, users can be added to organizations either via a group or be given individual access to organizations. If we wanted to, and this is optional, you could manually give this person an organization ID here, and they will be added to that organization directly. And in the similar fashion, what we can do is head to Organization Toolkit, Organizations, and we find that we have this ID column here, where you would have the option to copy an ID and put that into the organization column. If we did want to add these fields, we can do, but these are all optional. The only fields that are mandatory are first name, last name, username, and email and password. So anything beyond that is optional, but anything before that is required for you to create a user in the system. So if we head back to the Organization Toolkit Import Users, to demonstrate this, I have an example import on my computer here where I've got 50 made-up users. I've given them usernames and emails, passwords, assigned them to the group, the Home Tech group, which has the group ID of 24800. I've not set them as an organization ID, so that's optional, but I have populated some of the fields here for different bits of information that we can capture. So if I head to the import and browse for that file and choose it, what I can do is click Import Users, and that will run, and you can import up to 50 at a time. We've added 49 here. One of them had an invalid email address there. So we can see here that 49 of those users on the spreadsheet were added successfully, but one of them failed to import. This person, it says, had an invalid email address. So if there are any that didn't import for any reason, they would appear here. What we find is that if we head to our LearnDash groups page, our home tech organization here with the ID of 24800 now has a lot more users. So we've got 54 users in here now shown within the home tech organization. And in turn, they would, via this group, be given access to the home tech organization, any branding and custom content that is related to home tech.